Listen, we are back. Make sure you like this video as you are coming in. Make sure you like it. Thank you. What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New. And, honey, I am back in the building. Listen, this time, honey, I am back. I was watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, the reunion part 3. Peacock, why didn't you have the episode up? Listen. Ciao. So, anyways, you know what I realized with Porsha? We all have been wondering, like, what is this thing with Miss Diane and Porsha? Their dynamic. Was Miss Diane the best mother she could have been to Porsha? We all have did commentary on how we all feel that Miss Diane, didn't show up for Porsha, being a mom, setting her straight, telling her to sit on the bench, stop chasing men. Why is Porsha such a snake? And now I have realized why Porsha is such a snake. Because it's very ironic. She said that Shamea's mom ended up buying her mom's daycare center. Her mother, Miss Diane, didn't know that her daycare was going into foreclosure. That don't sound right. It could happen, but to me it don't sound right. I don't believe that. Porsha is a woman that tell half truths and nothing but lies, honey, okay? But this explains her behavior with the whole Simon situation. Let me snake somebody before I get snaked. Because as Porsha is talking about how Shamea's mother betrayed Miss Diane and they were best friends, and how dare she buy her daycare from under her nose, and they found out it was Shamea's mom because they saw the signage, and it makes so much sense. But this is the thing, Porsha. Like when Porsha was saying that, I was just like, do you hear yourself? That's what Fallon was feeling, honey, when she was divorcing her man. You was getting ready to get married to her man. Then y'all had all these weddings. And yeah, but me and Fallon weren't friends, and you were in pictures with her. Okay? You ate with the girl. You was wearing her clothes, she said. You would call her to see where her and Simon would be hanging out for the night. You were close enough to the situation. So you want us to feel sorry for the fact that Shamea's mom snaked your mom, but you snaked another woman to get where you're at right now. Because, Porsha keeps bragging about how she got this house from Simon. And I notice in a lot of reviews, people are like, yeah, Porsha got his ass. Yeah, okay, kind of, sort of. Simon go fight her for that house. And like I said, I hear she's downsizing. Get your ass up out that man's house. You can't afford it. You got your own money. What are you doing? But that's the problem with being male identified, with thinking a man is going to fix your problems. And it has shown you time and time again, Porsha, that's not the case. Cordell showed you that. Okay? Duke, Dennis, Simon. When we go get the lesson, sis, a man can't fix your problems. Okay? So, yeah. But I'm just looking like, girl, I hear how you snaked Fallon. Okay, and that's why your mother, and this is something that happens a lot with women. Let's have a real conversation. This happens a lot with women. You become a snake so you don't get snaked, and you're willing to snake another woman. Women will always snake women, okay, for men. It goes hand in hand, especially if the woman is male identified the way Porsha is. She feels like that's her right. That's her birthright. Okay? Male identified women will also believe a man over a woman because they do not value other women. That's why a lot of them don't have friends. They can't maintain those friendships. They can take or leave those relationships. They are the literal definition of my man, my man, my man, and that's all that matters. But yeah, honey, that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, I don't know if you guys are like me where you just didn't feel bad, but you got an understanding of the type of woman Miss Diane is. And I don't think we're done with this situation because I believe somebody took somebody, man, it's a lot more to the situation. Shamea, you're such a fucking lapdog. Because if Porsha exposed this much, I would expose even more. See, Porsha don't give a fuck. And you still, no, I'm not even going to say that. No, and Cynthia, you shut your ass up. Okay, friend of the show, shut up. Let them spill the tea. Well, the mothers, that's going too far. No, the fuck it ain't. Because, listen, we going to get an educational lesson on why these heifers operate the way in which they do. And Andy had to preach to Shamea, you need to start telling the truth. You need to say in the moment when things bother you, it doesn't work out well for you. You know, is Shamea a preacher's kid? I'm getting some type of religious vibe from her family, and her mother always do all that praying and child. Miss Shamea, honey, shot o'clock. Look, shot o'clock, honey, ain't over there praying because she take way too many shots. You went out drinking when the baby was sick, Shamea. They said you went to Miami. You didn't head to your baby that was sick, okay, after the Grenada trip. So, yeah, somebody lying. I think Shamea, even with the situation with their moms, it's something that's going to come out that's going to make her look bad. That's why she's not willing to tell everything. It's something that's gonna make her mom look bad. But Shamea feels like she needs Porsha. Okay, so that's why she is down to talk about her with the other women behind her back, but she want to smile in her face and still reap the benefits of being in proximity to Porsha. I don't think she liked Porsha all like that. You know? And I didn't like that shit that Shamea pulled with the women, talking about, yeah, I regret, talking to the women. I apologize for talking to the women about Porsha. That's a backhanded fucking apology. You not sorry. You trying to put it off on these women because they went and told Porsha how you felt because you was too much of a coward to stand up to her. So, yeah, Shamea is full of shit, you guys. It's really sad, but yeah, you need some therapy. The one thing you need to spend your money on is some damn therapy to figure out why are you behaving like this? Why are you bowing down and acquiescing to Porsha? Why do you feel like you need her? What type of hold does she have on you? She got some type of hold, sis. Okay? But this situation with the mothers, it explains so much about their dynamic. Now, Porsha is the Michael Jordan in the situation. She's the one with, the money and the access. Shamea got it, and hell, apparently the mother has it. But Shamea got the man and the house and the children, Porsha over there still trying to fool la la with Dennis, Porsha, once a man plays in your face like that, I would be done with him. I would be done with him. And Porsha is your typical male-identified baby mama. She don't want nobody talking to her baby daddy. He my baby daddy. I don't want you filming with him. I don't want you having a conversation with him. And it's just like, and they behave like that because they aren't to be trusted. So they feel like everybody is like them. She feel like Drew is like her. No, bitch, everybody ain't like you. But I have always been disgusted by women like that are so insecure. If you gonna be that fucking insecure in your relationship or in your co-parenting relationship with your child's father, girl, try again. Try again. I don't like that. There's no reason to act like that. And the people that go around acting like that behavior is normal. But yeah, that's all I kept thinking about the whole Fallon situation. Like, you was just hanging with her and her husband, and he was hers, and now you his new woman, and you acted as if they never happened. Y'all gotta look at the shit that people do, how they just, that's how you know a narcissist is involved in a situation, because they will move on like nothing ever happened, like, because they feel it's their right to fuck you over. Simon moved right on to Porsha, while he over there trying to throw Fallon under the bus. When she got her boyfriend, hell yeah, she got a boyfriend, because you wasn't bringing your ass home at night, nigga. Okay? I told y'all, I'm on Fallon's side with that. I will never defend a man that ghosts his woman, okay, that neglects his woman emotionally, that don't come home at night. And I just will never be on that type of man's side, because when you do snake shit like that, snake shit is gonna happen to you. And then y'all, man, she was cheating. What the fuck you think was gonna happen? That's a beautiful woman. Fallon better than Porsha. She is real beautiful. You think the niggas ain't gonna be all on her just cause you ain't? And what you won't do, somebody else will. Y'all gotta know that. Porsha says her and Shamea had a beautiful relationship before she came on the show and she became a housewife. Porsha, you're lying. Y'all didn't have no beautiful relationship. If you did, this wouldn't be happening right now. What's going on is Porsha is a narcissist that wants to control Shamea in isolation. Now that Shamea is on the show, she's a peach holder, ain't no more isolation. Shamea is now being influenced by the other women, and the other women are speaking her language, which is why she's opening up to them. She's exposing all of her vulnerabilities that she can't voice to Porsha. Because I hope Andy isn't a good host, because he's not going to call all this shit out. But Porsha is hard to talk to. She shuts Shamea down. She's very manipulative. She'll start crying to get out of, taking in what Shamea is saying. She's not willing to listen to, how she may have hurt Shamea. She always deflects. She'll walk away. She'll play with the silverware. She'll bring somebody else into the equation. So, yeah, she's just very manipulative. But, yeah, she wanted to control the narrative of her and Shamea's friendship in isolation. You even have Shamea saying, why we can't be the friends that we are behind closed doors. Why you can't be that person that you are behind closed doors. And you got Porsha saying, yeah, they would have to pay me a lot more money for that. Okay? And then, well, please don't, Shamea. Well, please don't. See, your narcissist, your manipulator is going to always beg you to keep quiet, to accept the status quo, to just go along to get along. Because niggas do it all the time. Just do it. Could you, I heard it from my child's father. Could you just make things easier for me? Bitch, they're not easy for me, so they won't be easy for you. Look, somebody done told you wrong. Okay, but yeah, this is how the malignant, narcissistic person thinks. And, even by telling what happened with the mothers, Porsha was trying to get it ahead of the narrative. Also, look at how she put out there that Kenya revealed Britt's underage photos, which wasn't even true, like spewing out all these untruths. Then, to Kenya, you look like you're trying to help her. You know what I'm saying? Kenya even thanked Porsha on her YouTube channel, but Kenya, she not trying to help you by saying that you are the one that put out Britt's underage photo. That's not helping you, girl. But Kenya said on her YouTube channel, yeah, but she kind of had my back, and she had my back more than Cynthia, and Porsha ain't got your back. She'll stab you in the back. Hell, Porsha is at the point now she'll stab you in the chest. But if she ain't got your back, she ain't to be trusted. I hope all of y'all is watching this snake. Did y'all watch how Porsha hugged Drew? What was that? The part 1 of the reunion? We get to part 2, you throwing her under the bus, accusing her of giving Kenya photos on Britt. All the while, you were in on it. You was in on it too. Okay? But Andy didn't clock her ass on it, because on these shows, it's the same thing on Potomac. It could be Giselle all day. That could be wrong. Andy will take all day to get on Giselle. It will take the goddamn... Look. It will take the damn fans of the show to get at Andy. That way he can get on Giselle. Because if the people... Let me not say it like that, honey. If the people had not got on Andy about all that colorism stuff and kind of came to Candace's side, okay, with the whole Candace and Giselle beef, if it had not been put out there, Andy wouldn't have, he wouldn't have gave Giselle any consequences for her behavior, for her being nasty. Now she got to play nice, because now it done came down to her job. They done fired Robin. But see, a lot of stuff had to happen. Robin ended up fucking up, which affected Giselle too, because they was like, ooh, you kind of knew about that. Do you see what I'm saying? Other than that, Andy wasn't going to hold Giselle accountable. So, yeah. But, yeah, this thing with Shamea is a mess. Both of them are flakes. They are. They're just flaky. They give dandruff, honey. And to think, there are rumors that Porsha, she's gonna redeem herself at this reunion. No, she just showed that, she's even more of a snake that can't be trusted. Okay? She's a snake. And I don't even think she knows how bad she looks. They need a new host for this show. I'm ready for Andy to retire, go play with your kids, read some bedtime stories, something. To me, he has too much of an alliance to certain people. He didn't have that alliance to Nene, and she was the one making him all the money. Okay? But yeah, here go Porsha. Did y'all hear that one part? I think it was in part 2 where she was like, I wanted Shamea on the show, didn't I, Andy? And Andy was like, yeah, you did. How the fuck you know if she really did? I don't think she wanted the girl on this show. Shamea is not really good for this show. She could have stayed a friend of husband or not, lifestyle, money or not. She just ain't built for the damn show. You gotta speak the truth. You gotta stand up to people. You gotta not give a fuck. Porsha has that. Whether I fuck with her or not, she has that. Shamea don't have that. Shamea is, honey, grasping for straws. She that person going through the field, honey, looking for something that's right in front of her child. Like, so they tried to put out there that Drew Sidora didn't make a purchase at Kelly's event that was, I guess it was dedicated or sponsored by some charity, for her daughters. I'll put it in the comments, you guys. I can't think of the name right now, but anyways, they was basically trying to put Drew out there for not having money. First off, Drew got 3 kids. She's going through a divorce. Who gives a fuck if she bought something at your damn thing and then the donation hits you? Like, who gives a damn? Kelly, you in debt. Okay, you in debt. You owe money on your rent for your restaurant. So how you gonna call Drew out? And Shamea, you can't even speak up at the right place at the right time to the right person. Like, girl, both of y'all have several seats. I just felt like that was some hater shit towards Drew. Yeah, let's make it look like she broke, and yeah. And I guess Drew did end up purchasing something from Kelly, but I guess it wasn't, they didn't have the size that she wanted, so she had to go back later to make the purchase. But just like Drew said, you could have talked to me about that and I could have fixed it. But no, they chose to hold on to that so they could throw it in her face later. But you are the one being sued left and right, Kelly. Okay, and I like you, Kelly, but I think you, and I kind of like you and Shamea together because you are kind of what Shamea needs. You are whatever she ain't gonna never get whatever she got out of you from Porsha. So I am happy she have somebody, but girl, look, don't do that with Drew. I think Shamea is kind of jealous of Drew. I do. And I think she's willing to use her money and her wealth to do it. But girl, it don't matter if you got the money or the wealth if it's not giving. Your showcase was not giving. Drew, her fucking album is giving. I haven't heard nobody talk about your music, Shamea. Everybody talking about Drew's album. I love her songs. I play them every day. So, yeah. It's like, y'all quit with that. All this stuff about some money. But she didn't have the right purse. And it wasn't a real person. She got it from Akira. And then the lady even came out and spoke on Drew's behalf, Shamea, and said she did make the purchase. Drew dropped the receipts. Why you keep trying to make it look like this girl ain't got no money? I just feel like that's so tired, delayed, it's late. It's like, girl, Porsha is so motherfucking manipulative. And Kelly caught it too, because Kelly expressed to Shamea, this is your moment. Tell Porsha how you really feel. Shamea, girl, it's time to let Porsha go. She ain't shit. You ain't either, but so as Kelly is telling Shamea to tell Porsha how she really feels. Oh, child, almost choked. Oh, child, that popcorn, honey. Okay, let's start this again. So as Kelly is telling Shamea to tell Porsha how she really feels, Porsha begins playing the victim, the poor perpetual victim, because she's manipulative. Because this is the thing, she doesn't really have what it takes inside of her to really try to work things out. She doesn't want to work things out with Shamea. That is another key sign you are dealing with a narcissist. They want to maintain the status quo. They want things to remain toxic in their favor with confusion. Okay? That's a big sign you are dealing with a narcissist. They want this hot and cold energy between the two of y'all. Because Porsha begins playing the poor perpetual victim. Oh, now I feel beat up on, and oh, now I'm so horrible. Girl. Even Dennis mentioned it, I believe, on Porsha Family Values. She never apologizes. She'll just start talking to me as if, nothing ever happened. That's not good. Even with the family and the commotion and the fighting, You know, she almost tried to fight Dennis's mother. The next day, she brainwashed her family into not talking about it. So this is somebody that wants to, you know, sweep all the chaos under the rug and never really fix things. Do you see what I'm saying? So Shamea says she tried to reach out to Porsha when Londi died. A lot of people are bringing up that Porsha told Phaedra that Londi had passed before she even told her best buddy Shamea. Okay, because they said Shamea looked shocked when they look back on that last episode. But so yeah, Shamea, that girl don't like you like that. And it shouldn't have took Londi's death. It shouldn't have took all these situations. She don't like you like that, and quiet as kept, you don't like her like that. But you give me, I'm willing, you're just like her, because both of you all are willing to put on this facade that you are each other's best friend. Okay, so yeah. And, you know, word on the street is, this is alleged, but the people saying Shamea used to sleep with people's husbands. You know, so if she was in that business, then it make a lot of sense that she would be down for this whole thing with Porsha and Simon. Because I feel like a good best friend would be like, well, girl, don't you think you should be with somebody else? You were just filming with his wife. What about how that's gonna look? But she don't give a fuck about Fallon and her feelings. And then remember, she was the one, Porsha, that put out there that Fallon, you know, was with Jalen and she was cheating. Then you have other stupid YouTubers that I actually love, but they stupid because they don't see how it doesn't matter. These people are saying, yeah, but Fallon, you know, she did Simon wrong. There's no such thing as doing a toxic motherfucker wrong when he's the one that cheated on you, when he's the one that abandoned you and your 6 children. Okay, you're over there playing daddy to her children. You disappear from the home. Do you know how painful that is? And how hurtful and disrespectful? And then that's what these people do. That's why, you guys, I have dealt with these people in the past. Okay, so that's why I am able to call shit out, because I already see what they're trying to do to deflect and to get out of accountability and responsibility for their bad behavior. That's what Porsha did. She wanted y'all to worry, her and Simon, they're one and the same. They wanted y'all to see what Fallon was doing. No, listen, Linda, okay? We have to deal with the head of the situation, which is Simon. He wasn't bringing his ass home. Fallon mentioned he cheated on her multiple times. She would like walk in on it. Like, she would always hear that, you know, he was fucking one of the workers. Why is it a big deal when a woman does it? What was Jalen, their pool boy? Who gives a fuck? She found some dick to fuck. Who cares? That's that narcissism. That's that patriarchal bullshit where he's a man. You can expect for him to fuck the worker. She better not do it, though, because she's the worst fucking thing ever. That's what men do. That's what men do. I have heard it so many times, you guys. I'm a man. They'll tell you, I'm a man, so it's in my nature to do fucked up stuff. No. You know, we're all human beings, and everybody should be treating everybody with respect. And I'm just never going to feel sorry for any man getting cheated on. I'm sorry. It better be a situation where you treat that woman like a goddamn queen and she stepped out. Then I'll say she's horrible. But if you're doing shit to, make her cheat on you, I don't feel sorry for you. I don't. So they never had me with that whole story because it was a deflection to get away from their bad behavior. Even Porsha on part 2. Well, everybody has moved on, and no, we're asking you, why did you go in that lady house and walk out with her husband? And we never got a good answer for that because, bitch, you don't have that. But your mother put you up on game and taught you to snake before you get snaked, and that's why we got all this behavior with you now. You know? So, yeah. Shamea, girl, cut your damn losses. And you need to shake a bone and get the hell on. And both of y'all need to realize that y'all don't like each other like that. She ain't answering your calls. Then you been talking shit, Shamea, to Britt. All that type of shit probably was going on at the time, and she gonna keep you at a distance because she don't trust you. And then you probably know some real secrets about her. Porsha don't want you spilling that shit out on this show because guess what? She wouldn't have control of the narrative. That is Porsha's main objective, to maintain control. You know what I realized? I'm like, Andy, why do you keep asking Cynthia what she thinks about this whole Shamea and Porsha situation? That's how you know Andy, he don't give a damn about his job no more. Can we normalize ending toxic friendships? Just because you have been cool with somebody for 10 plus years, 20 plus years, just because you've been in a relationship with that person for that amount of time, it doesn't mean that the relationship needs to continue. It doesn't. So I don't like this whole, well, don't throw the friendship away. And no, they need to throw it away. They need to let it go. Okay? Because it looks like another love TKO. Yes. Child, they need to give it up. Okay? Like, there's no honor amongst thieves. Both of them are thieves. Both of them want to use each other. Okay? And I don't feel like it's a friendship that needs to continue. Kelly then began telling Porsha Britt never seen it for her. Don't none of y'all see it for any of each other. I don't know why y'all keep telling everybody what the other said now and all this. You know, that's what people do though, right? I guess that's normal, you know, and Britt is not there, so, yeah, I guess that is kind of normal to be like, yeah, that bitch never seen it for you. I don't know why you take it up for her. I don't know why you listening to her. She said this, you know, so, I don't know, but, yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention that Porsha tried to use Londy's death as a reason to not communicate with Shamea. Girl, I was grieving. We all collectively, honey, and it wasn't just me. We didn't think that Porsha really, I don't know, she just never really seemed sad about Londy dying. I got more of a sadness from Lauren. You know, I looked at her facial expressions, but I didn't get that from Porsha. But y'all let me know what y'all think. But I was like, look at her. These people will use people's death, honey, as an excuse. Drew, you are co-parenting with a narcissist. So, this whole thing of y'all being friendly and I wouldn't be eating any food from him. You have to maintain certain boundaries with certain men. This man also spoke out on your mom. After your dad's death, Ralph put out there that your mother was spending all of your father's money. Ain't that what she's supposed to do with the life insurance? It's her money. That was her man. Man, mind your damn business. Go get your own house. So, yeah, like, Drew, you're gonna have to give up on the co-parenting fantasy, you know, with a narcissist. Just look at Martell and Melody. Melody was taking trips with Martell, and I was saying, girl, absolutely not. Absolutely. Don't do it. You can't do it. some men, you can work some stuff out with, and they may mature and do their work, but not a nigga like Ralph. He's always throwing you under the bus, trying to say you cheated. I'm not worried about if you cheated, because hell, he deserved to be cheated on after the way he treated you. So, ciao. Baby, Drew versus Shamea. They talked about Shamea taking it back to Porsha, that Drew mentioned she could pay for Pilar's college with her music, the music that Dennis produced for her. So I loved how Drew told Shamea, yeah, you should probably shut up and mind your business. Like, you should. It's very obvious. It's very obvious that you're fighting for this friendship. You are. You on the rope, Shamea. If you're going to be a lapdog to somebody, at least be a lapdog to somebody that's a lapdog for you. Okay? 2 fools in love is better than 1 fool trying to get another fool to love them, honey. Okay? Whatever that means, honey. But yeah, I love that moment for Drew and Shamea. Girl, give it up. Even Porsha said, when I watched it on TV, it wasn't that bad. No, she brought it back to you, Shady. That way you could be more at odds. Both of y'all play the same type of games. So I really don't feel sorry for neither one of y'all. They talk about Drew being on the phone with Ty for about 3,000 minutes. Shamea says she's married and she doesn't even speak to her husband, that much for that long. That's the problem, Shamea. You need to film you and your husband, or let Bravo film y'all having dinner, honey. I don't care if Drew had an affair with Ty. I don't care. And Drew, Ralph is not all that. I would rather Dennis be my child's father. I'm sorry. I would rather Dennis be my child's father over Ralph. I don't give a fuck about the looks. I got the goddamn looks. That's what all matter in the situation. Drew, you may need to stop dating your type, girl. Okay? Look, Drew said, I like him with the muscles. A lot of my ex-boyfriends, you guys, they were built like Ralph, but they insecure as hell. Them types, a lot of drama, insecure. I would rather Dennis be my child's father, because Dennis over there making hot dogs, chili dogs. He got a hookah lounge. Dennis over there making drinks, coming out with #1 albums, child. So Dennis is the better man, and Ralph is over there trying to mooch up off of you. So Porsha didn't do half bad with Dennis. He just a hoe, but she a hoe too. Okay, so they see each other. Okay, but yeah. I like how Drew promoted black cigars and, his hookah stuff. I like how she did that. She said, take one and pass it down. I know that's right, honey. That's my friend. Y'all know damn well, until her divorce is settled, she can't be, out here dating openly. Andy, you messy as hell. Would you bring the person that you're dating onto the show? She said she will. Porsha tried to take a dig at Drew dating women. Don't you date women? I'm glad that Drew handed it, right back to her. She said, when you out on a date? Okay, you was flirting with Ty. We know Porsha go the other way, honey. We know she go the other way. Okay, and Drew called her out for being out on a date with an African, and she didn't deny it. She said she loved her Africans, honey. I know that's right. Y'all better own it. They asked Dennis, did you try to sleep with Drew, or did she try to sleep with you so that you could help with her album? He said that never happened. Porsha said, it did. And I believe Porsha is one big fat ass liar. She's not fat, but she's a really bloated ass liar. This girl will lie about anything. So, like, every time Andy says that, she may have said something, I'm just like, Andy, stop wasting our time. This bitch lied on Kenya. Okay, she's lied on Drew. Got her ass up and hugged Drew just to sink her. Just to sink her again. Just to try to put it out there that she dating. Oh, Ralph is allegedly, dating some girl that goes, I guess the lady's child goes to their child's school, and the lady came up to Drew. See, all of that shit is out of order. His raggedy ass, his bullet head ass would be up out my house with that foolishness, okay? A mess. They get on Shamea's husband, Gerald, not being there. Andy was like, you couldn't get no babysitter as rich as you is, girl. Oh, he's at home with his kids, but I got some yellow roses, though. It's just not his thing. That's not the right thing to tell your boss. You should have told your boss he was working. He's working on a really big project, and he just couldn't make it. So, girl, they gonna end up taking your peach from you. They are, because you're not even lying the right way. Dennis is not dressed like Porsha. Dennis is a man's man, honey. He gonna do what he wanna do. Okay? The hell with what Porsha got on, honey. Charles Oakley, the enforcer, he said he is there to support his wife. Where is y'all husbands? Where y'all men's at? Listen, Shamea, that's what your man should do. He should support his wife. He would have only had to do part 3 of the reunion. Oh, it's just not his thing. I didn't like that. So I'm just saying, like, you always saying that your husband supports you. Clearly not. He didn't even come to the damn reunion. I can't believe anything that Shamea say, honey. Okay, I think she feel like Gerald is the last thing that she got, so she ain't trying to mess that up, but Gerald about to mess your money up, girl. I believe what Drew has to say when it comes to the Porsha, Dennis, and Ralph situation. I don't believe Dennis tried to get with Drew, and I don't believe Drew tried to get with Dennis. Ralph tried to put out there that Drew told her that Dennis tried to holler at her. Dennis said that he and Ralph are friends outside the show. He would never try to, get with Drew outside of the music. I can't believe anything that Porsha says, even though Ralph, another liar, pretty much backed up, what Porsha said. He said, the text said what Porsha said, but I just don't believe anything that Porsha says. Porsha is a ultimate manipulator. She wants us to think that Drew is like her, that she's this loose hussy. But that's, very narcissistic of her, because that's what narcissists do. Narcissists will accuse you of doing shit that they have did. They're hypocrites like that. I don't believe Ralph when he says, oh, I just want to co-parent our beautiful children and I love you. If you love this woman, you wouldn't continue to embarrass her. You still have not apologized for the shit that you said about her mother. So, yeah, he's a liar. Dennis did get caught in a lie. He apparently didn't talk to Porsha about him working with Drew. He told Drew that he did, but he figured that Porsha, Drew would handle it since her and Porsha were friends. But your baby mama kept ducking and dodging her. And so I'm still on Drew's side, because we saw Drew several times trying to have an adult conversation with Porsha. Porsha did what she always does. She tries to deflect. She tries to play victim. She did everything but have the damn conversation with Drew. That's why I am believing Drew over her. I love the energy that Charles Oakley gave Phaedra. Like, girl, I don't know you. Yes, I dated Sheree. Yes, we've been in the same rooms. He said the same bathroom. And Phaedra was like, hopefully not the same bathroom, child. They should have had Sheree on this season. That would have been interesting. But other than that, Sheree can kind of stay, where she's at. It is interesting, though, that she dated Charles. Oh, Dennis. He, I guess, was trying to holler at Kelly at one point. Gave, I guess, Britt the chain. Ain't nothing but you know what. But that was a long time ago, Dennis said. So, Porsha wasn't on his radar yet. But yeah, I love that Charles Oakley read Phaedra her rights. I love how Angela kept her foot on Phaedra's neck. Like, you tried to be funny by coming on here saying you didn't know Charles was married. You were trying to be shady. No, I wasn't. I just really didn't know. And you were trying to be shady, Phaedra. And Charles said, honey, he don't know you. Okay? Because you did try to imply that y'all was hanging out together or, at the same places. I guess you was hanging with Sheree when she was dating him. So, I guess. That dude, like, Sheree dating Charles kind of brings her stock up a little bit. Because at least we could be like, Charles used to play basketball. Charles, the enforcer. Not Martell, hook-headed Hotel Holt. That was a bad look, Sheree. And Tyrone, honey. Ooh, child. Charles Oakley reminds me a lot of Bob Whitfield. So Sheree must have dated Charles before she joined Housewives. Wasn't she still with Bob? I was kind of confused because he was like, yeah, it was 2004, 5, 6. He said they went to Dubai together. The ending was weird. What else was weird? Oh, Kelly. Don't say to Ralph, you're a really good father, to your kid. Don't do that. He's not a good husband to Drew, so he is not a good father to the children. When a man disrupts his wife's mental health, when, a man constantly throws his wife under the bus, he's not being a good father. We have to quit this shit, this Martell Holt shit, where we see a man, doing right by his children, and then we make the father role his, existence. Like, oh, he's a good father. No. You're not. Look at how you treat your wife. Look at how y'all gotta get a divorce because of your fucked up behavior. So I didn't like that. I didn't like the shit that Ralph tried to relay to Kelly. It was like, you could have kept that. She asked him what else, did he know about what her husband had told her, and child, he wouldn't be able to tell me shit, and I wouldn't be saying he's a good father. What else? Drew says she really cared for Porsha. She's happy they found their way back to each other. I would find myself permanently away from Porsha. She is not to be trusted. I still don't trust her, even though she got up and gave Andy a fan and started trying to kiss his ass. And, well, you wasn't at my birthday. Girl, you still the same bitch. I don't care if you get up and do a dance. She tried to say something positive about Shamea and, oh, I really am sorry everything went the way it went this season. Are you? You ain't sorry. When a narcissist apologizes, they're just saying what they need to say. That way they can continue to play in your face and fuck you over. Okay, so I wasn't feeling Porsha at the end. I know she looked all nice and fun, and like, I just wasn't buying what she was selling. And then, yeah, when we go out, you know, Shamea's always the choreographer. Shamea, girl, you taking the bait, you allowing this bitch to play with you. She has showed you that she does not care for you, and you getting ready to bite. All she got to do is give you a few breadcrumbs, and you bite it, and you take the bait, and you believe her. But y'all are not friends. I wouldn't have choreographed shit. You know, Shamea says she wants to be in alliance with all the women. I don't believe it. I believe y'all are saying whatever y'all got to say to keep y'all damn job at this point. So...